Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Of the closing doors, please.
It's alive!
Transfer is available.
The next and last stop is...
You're tuning into the SubwayCreatures. You're tuning into the SubwayCreatures.
Welcome to another edition of the SubwayCreatures podcast. I am your host, Rick McGuire, joined directly to my right, Freddie B. TV. Freddie, how are you?
Hey.
Oh, you're gonna do the rap? Yeah.
No. Really, I was gonna rap. You know, hi you guys, Freddie B. TV. I was gonna rap, but Kim not here, so I can't rap because we got a special guest.
We do have a special
So
guest, and unfortunately, Kim Condon could not join us for today's episode. But we found an amazing person to sit in. Dani Daniels, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast. I wanted to introduce you as director, 5-time AVN award winner,
I think
painter.
there's like 12
Painter?
AVN awards.
12 now? It's
I
up to
don't
12?
know.
It
There's a
must have been
lot.
out of date what I was looking at. And also TV host. So you have quite the resume.
I do. And I
Welcome.
also show my butthole for people. So you know.
There you go.
What?
Oh,
That's people probably don't recognize your face,
Hey guys.
but
It's weird seeing me with clothing on. I understand.
for those of you,
What's going on? She
exactly.
said,
Well,
what's going on?
Freddie might start wheeling his way a little over to you.
What's happening? Can somebody
Please
explain why she
let
said
us
she's
know
fine?
if you get uncomfortable over there.
Concerned?
Well, Freddie has a reputation for each episode. He likes to talk a lot about his penis, and if you feel uncomfortable,
Elegante.
please just let us know.
You know the elegantes.
He just always talks about that.
Well, how did that name happen?
Yeah. Freddie brought his gloves today, by the way. Can we get a shot of Freddie's gloves? He is just getting more ridiculous every week. For those of you listening, Freddie is wearing black OJ gloves.
Thank you.
It's like
So glad you
more
said
like
that.
motorcycle gloves. Are these the
No,
same
they're
ones?
definitely murder
Listen,
gloves.
those are absolutely not motorcycle gloves because
They got,
you would.
they got the palm out, the back of my palm out. That ain't
So
motorcycle?
that makes them motorcycle gloves?
Ain't that what these?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So-
Danny, you
If I
from
were to- if
California.
I were-
People wear-
if
people
I
ride
rode a
motorcycles in
motorcycle-
SoCal.
I don't know. Sitting next to a man wearing gloves makes me a little concerned.
Especially a black man wearing black gloves. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, the glove fits, so it's fine. But
So you
it-
must quit.
Do they though? Because
gloves don't
those
fit?
are looking a little snug.
Because my hands are so big because I got big appendages. You know this.
I don't know. I don't know anything. So Dani, I want to really quick talk about how this relationship kind of struck up. Not even specifically with SubwayCreatures, but my other account, What is New York? You also live in New York. You and your husband.
I do. I'm
and
not from New York. I can't claim that I'm from here.
we can't call you a
But
native.
I feel like I'm a native. I'm like a
feel at
native
home.
poser.
Well,
Oh, you're a poser.
I mean, you follow the account, and you.
I was a fan of you guys.
Not only that, you submitted to the account,
I
and
did.
so I you might be a little jealous, because I know we did talk about our friend Dan Perino,
Mm-hmm.
who you found one of his flyers in New York.
I did.
For those of you who did not listen to the last episode or know who Dan Perino is, he is a serial dater.
Wait, you interviewed him?
We are interviewing him next week.
Oh my god.
Next week is happening.
Next week he's coming in. He's locked in for next week.
I might come and
Also,
creep
You
on that.
may have to come back.
I might.
And we may have to get you in here for that. So
God,
what
that
our
guy.
goal is, and what we want to get you to help us do, is we want to interview him 1st.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get him in on an episode. We'll interview him. And then we want to do a special episode where we try to find him a girlfriend. We try to find him true love. And we will definitely want you to help us with
I'm
that.
all in.
So for those of you who don't know, Dan Perino posts flyers all over New York.
Yes. He looks like Dave. Do you know who Dave Ramsey is?
Am I supposed to?
No,
Damn.
no one on the last episode knew who Dave Ramsey was. Freddie
hoping
was
you
on his
was gonna
own.
save me.
It's some financial
Your boo,
analyst.
Your husband. Do you know who Dave Ramsey is?
He's some financial analyst for Yahoo.
Look, this is him. This is Dave Ramsey.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's because he's based in
Kind
my
of
hometown.
looks like Danny's husband a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Pull him back up.
You in the future, babe.
If we die, your beard
and the
gray.
glasses.
The goatee.
You guys have the same eyebrows and bald head.
Yeah.
I don't know. Your face is kind of shaped the
You
same
kind of
too.
look like the evil version of
Yeah.
him.
I don't know.
The evil version. Oh, so Dani
We're,
has her
we're,
husband.
we're gonna pull Danny's husband Vic in at the back end of this show because I want him to jump in on some of the questions that we have for him.
Okay.
And
I'm warning you now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Because I got some questions. Because I
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, I got some questions because y'all know I don't watch porn, and so I'm
Danny,
I don't either.
Did you? Well,
just mystified.
that is crazy, but it's for some reason crazier to me that Freddie doesn't.
Yeah, it's rare that you meet a guy that doesn't watch porn.
I like
Ever?
touching real titties. I don't like looking at titties. I want to.
You just have no imagination.
I don't want to use my imagination when it comes to titties.
Yeah, but stop acting like you pull a chick every night and you have real titties in your face. Just stop.
No, I'm not gonna say that. But I just, I just find other things to occupy my time.
Let me ask you, Danny, if someone told you that they don't, if a man told you he doesn't watch porn, is that like a red flag for you?
No. I mean, my husband didn't know I did porn before we met.
Well, we'll get
Never
into that
seen
because I
one.
wanted to ask about that, and we'll save that for
If
the
I met
end.
Dani, I'll be like, man, she is such a host. Nice, mom, look at this young lady I met. And then my dad, I probably come in the room and be like,
Jesus Christ, it's Danny Daniels.
son, is that you? My dog. I'll be like, Dad, what's up? What's going on, bro? Get off me,
I think
get off me.
because I don't look like the stereotypical porn star. A lot of people are shocked when they
You
hear
do
it.
kind of have the girl next door kind of look.
But I heard that works in porn though.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Well, listen,
But
there's
I
an
just,
audience
on
for
the
everything,
Street, I feel like
but-
people don't look at me and they're like, "Oh, she definitely gets naked." for a
Right.
living."
She's not the stereotypical platinum blonde, fake boobs pouring out of her top.
Boobs pouring out.
I'm sorry, did that? I don't even want to know how you'd word that, but
It's just the verb that you use, pouring.
I can see that.
but you know,
you're
okay,
wearing
you get
some-
you,
they're like,
you get the idea. You get
But
the
plus,
idea.
I got to bust his ball. That's why I'm here.
He could try, but he's kind of in his own on his own with that. All right, so I know you're
are
not.
you one of those anime people?
No, I actually don't watch it.
I had to ask. Okay.
No, I'm not. No.
All right.
But I'm-
Because usually
but
it's like I don't watch porn, but I watch anime and
Oh, you talking about-
political shit.
Oh, to watch the porn anime, the cartoon porn. That's even weirder.
That's what. That's what that is.
Even though Jessica Rabbit, bruh. Of Who
So you do
Framed
watch
Roger-
porn,
No, I
just
don't.
Jessica Rabbit cartoon porn.
No, I don't watch porn. I'm just saying, if she were to be real, I might
Yeah,
watch
but that's
something
why
with her.
that's why she's a
I'm
cartoon.
sure you can find that on the internet.
Yeah, you could absolutely find
100%.
Jessica Rabbit porn.
No, I'm talking about the real. Go on, leave me
Well,
alone.
considering the fact that she's a rabbit, I feel like
She's not a rabbit.
real.
Well, she's married to a rabbit. That's why her last name's
Wasn't she an
Rabbit.
actual rabbit?
No,
She got married to Roger Rabbit. Is that why? Her
Yes.
name was Jessica Rabbit.
I think you're thinking of didn't Bugs Bunny
yeah, that's what
had
I'm
a
thinking
Think about Lola.
Yeah.
Lola. Her name's Lola.
see, he knew the name. This guy.
I'm a cartoon guy. I
Cartoon
love
porn.
Tom and Jerry.
Everyone's got their thing.
Tom and Jerry's my favorite cartoon. Heathcliff, Thundercats,
Thundercat.
cartoon guy.
Everyone's got their thing. Yeah. Danny, I know you haven't, like we just said, I know you haven't been in New York very long.
2 years.
But it doesn't take very long to realize the subway in New York is fucked.
So I have never taken the subway.
That is, you are a spoiled white girl, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
I suck dick so that I don't have to ride the subway.
Hold on, wait, what'd you say? What'd you say?
She said, I suck dick, but I don't ride the subway.
No, so I don't
No.
have to ride
Oh,
the
so
subway.
you don't.
Yeah.
You know what? That actually is not only funny, but how much is your Uber tab? Is that, I'm
I
assuming,
actually walk pretty much anywhere. But the rare occasion, like I'm going somewhere wearing heels, I'll take an Uber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you walk here?
I did.
Did you?
Did from the 30s.
It's okay.
So you
the
walked
weather
30
still
blocks.
permits that
Yeah,
kind of stuff,
got
so
it.
that's good.
Yeah. So what do you do in January?
Get your steps in.
I don't go out if it's snowing or I bundle up.
You still walk?
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
You know, because you're Midtown East, so you actually have access to almost everything you need over there. So I guess that
Yeah,
makes
you
makes
kind
a
of
lot of
stay in
sense.
your little bubble a little
Right.
bit. Like
that does make a lot of sense.
If I gotta think about going outside, the Uber's already ready.
But Danny, have you been in the subway?
I have. I shot down there topless, but I've never been on a
What?
subway
Okay.
train.
Now you have to understand that there aren't a lot of times where the subway there's just no passengers, there's no one going through there. So
Oh, there were people around,
what was that
definitely.
experience like? Can you just shed a little light on that?
I love New York because New Yorkers don't give a fuck. Like people will
that
just
is
get off
true.
the train and just take their cell phone out and be like, click, and keep walking. Like no one huddled around me. They just, that's why I love living here. No one bothers you.
Well, that's actually very funny that you're saying that because Asa Akira and I did the No Pants subway ride last January.
I love Asa.
And I thought, oh my God, this is going to be great because Asa agreed to take her top off while doing the No Pants subway ride, despite it being negative 10, 15 degrees. And I was like, this is going to be great. You know, people are just going to be so wowed. And, you know, a lot of people don't know that it's legal in New York.
I didn't know that when I moved here.
So it's legal in New York for women to walk around with
I know when that law was
top off.
passed.
And
Like, you know, when they passed the law for everybody can get married and all the gay people was in the street cheering, when they passed the law for titties to be out, I was the same way. I had a rainbow flag and Black Lives Matter.
It was
I don't even know.
Freddie
I
and a
just had
couple
some
other-
stuff. I was like, yes, yes, the titties is free to nipple. Free these titties, let them be out. These titties want to be out, let them be out.
you
Equality.
should have seen the rest of the crowd standing with Freddie cheering for this.
There's a whole bunch of old
for
dudes.
it.
It was a bunch of lesbian
My
women.
first weekend in New York, I got topless in Times Square for my website. And I thought, like, I had asked, Vic wasn't my husband at the time, but I had asked him. He's like, oh, you could totally get topless in New York. And I'm like, is this a joke? Is this like some way I'm going to get arrested? And
Like they actually have the thing in New York. What's the topless thing? I've got so hyped about titties. I knocked my mic away. They do a march.
Yes.
Titty march?
Well, they do. It's breast cancer awareness, and they have a lot of women who take
No,
their
not
tops off.
this one. Not the breast cancer one. No, I'm talking about the other one. The breast cancer one be women out there with the scars and stuff. No, not that one. The other one where it's free to nipple. It's like equality, and they do it. And I be going out to that one to support all the ladies.
I
Which
feel
one?
like just a bunch of drunk girls in the street.
No.
taking their shirts
It's
off.
actually
Is this organized?
Then there's a naked bike marathon.
I didn't know
That
about
is
this
the
one.
last
know
thing I
about
want to
that.
do naked is ride a bike.
I'm about to go home and Google all these things that happen in New York where titties be out.
All
so
right,
can
I
support.
think I actually know what you're talking about. I do not know the name of it, but my point to all of this
My bad, I got
is
sidetracked
that
with the titties.
people do not care. And that's exactly what you were saying, Danny. When Asa and I did this, I thought this was going to be great. We're going to get huge reactions out of people. She took her top off, and one guy actually pulled his winter hat over his eyes, and everyone else in the train really, it looked like they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. So it sounds like kind of what the experience you had.
Yeah, it was similar. Like no one. I mean, there was
What
like
station were you in?
the L train.
That's a pretty
like, I
popular
don't
train. That's a pretty.
L and
Okay,
A. She's
so
on
you were
the-
at one of the most popular stops on the L train,
All right.
on 8th Ave
titties out.
and the L train. And so people just weren't looking? Did it seem
I
like
mean,
they-
like people were looking. It's just no one. If I had done that in Los Angeles, there would be a massive crowd around me. But because it was New York, people had like jobs to get to and shit to do.
Right.
So I
Well,
mean,
what time
people
of the day
took
was this?
photos as they were walking, though. It was late. Yeah.
It was like midnight maybe on like was it a weeknight or a
like
weekend?
10, 11.
Man,
I mean, either way, that stop.
I'm a pervert.
C&E to the L, so we were on both lines.
Oh, wow. So you guys actually did a little bit of walking for this as well.
Yeah. No one.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like a quick thing. I was
Yeah,
out there for a
I would have
while.
stopped, took some videos, pictures.
So Vic is telling us right now you had to carry. Why'd you have a coffee table with you?
That was the theme. Her on a coffee table.
Yeah.
So
I was doing a
you
shoot.
had to bring your own coffee table.
Yeah, what? Cause too much.
Hold on.
We're gonna pull Vic in.
I mean, you probably could have found a coffee table in the subway somewhere, but we brought
so
our own.
this is all.
Yeah, so we carried a coffee table into the subway at 11:30 at night. AC&E train, the L train, and no one batted an eyelash. People were getting off. She's standing on a coffee table. She was inside the L train, topless, and most people rolled their eyes and walked past like they could give a flying fuck. They're like, what the hell's going on now?
All right. Well, I
all
don't know
the
where
listeners,
these
this is-
photos went, but I'm a little upset we don't have them right now.
All right, so all the listeners listening, this is Danny's husband, Vic speaking.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all of those of you listening, wow, I just have a stroke. I think I just had a stroke.
You sound like Elmer Fudd.
Blah, blah, blah. For those of you listening who were very excited that Dani was here, well, this is her husband now.
Yeah.
Sitting with
He's
her.
out in the open. Everyone knows he exists.
out.
Womp womp. Sorry, guys.
It's in the middle, jacking off.
So that was your first experience, I'm guessing?
My first and only, yeah.
Wow.
I'm claustrophobic and germophobic. There's no way you're getting me in a subway car.
Ooh, that's
just not
That is a
happening.
perfect storm then
Yeah.
of you being on
Yeah.
the train because
So.
especially during
And
maybe
I
a rush
actually
hour.
started following your account because I thought it was funny. Because I was like, this, and I would show my husband, like, this is why I don't take the subway. This is why
Probably
we're
like,
walking
honey,
everywhere.
all right, Uber bills getting too high. We need to start taking the subway. You come back with, no, we don't. Look at this.
Yep, that's
This is what
exactly how the
happens in the
conversation
subway.
went.
You
Well-
can suck my dick, Vic.
It's people watching to the extreme, but like you just said, there are a lot of funny things, but then to the
There's
other
just-
end of the spectrum, there are things you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That is gross. I can't believe I'm watching this right now. I get inundated with the messages of why would you post that? That really ruined my day. But you know what? This is real life.
Yeah.
This is what we all have to go through on the subway. Maybe some people don't, but a lot of us do. We don't have the luxury of being able to walk everywhere. But
You can walk anywhere in Manhattan.
you can. But
It might take you a little while,
you can't.
but you can walk
Okay.
anywhere.
You can also city bike. You can
Yeah.
do a lot. I know
There's a lot
people
of
who do that.
options.
So there are options. I'm
Not
just,
in January, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
You
wear
can
a
walk
big
anywhere in
jacket.
January?
Yeah, just wear a big jacket.
I see her point
Y'all
is.
said it's so just
You got
passe and
gloves?
just
No.
blasé.
Yeah, bring your gloves.
I'm watching you with gloves, man. Just put a hat on. You all good?
You're missing the point
are
here, Freddie.
weird.
Freddie,
Y'all
the
are very
point.
weird.
The point that they're making is that technically you can. It's not. That,
I don't know if you'd want to.
It's
but
the
if you said get in a
convenience of
car
not
full of
having to.
urine and homeless guys or walk, I'm walking.
And I can't
Like,
really,
just
can't really blame you for that. It's not the most convenient thing, but I can't blame you for that
Yeah.
because I feel
Teach
like
their own.
Yeah, right.
You
Exactly.
do understand there are bars along the way of walking, right?
Oh, I do.
There you go.
I do.
So you do a bar crawl every day.
Need to warm up.
guess that
Little
makes
hot
sense.
toddy.
You
You're all
walk,
good.
you walk it off.
Yeah,
you walk it off.
Little sip here, little scotch. You're all good.
If this was New Orleans, you probably take like a to-go cup and just put it in there. It's a McDonald's cup, but it's full of some potion.
The famous blue Greek coffee cup. You think there's coffee in that?
Everyone knows those
Everybody
blue Greek
knows.
coffee cups.
Yeah.
Those are they were at Seinfeld. Everyone knows those cups.
Hey,
They're
I'm
very
gonna be
famous.
doing that this weekend. I'm going to my school's homecoming in Nashville. So I'm gonna have a McDonald's cup, big cup, just nothing but Jack Daniels, my friend Jack. We go way back. Ooh, that's the bars. I told you I got bars. Well, you
You've
sleeping
got
on me?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
So here's some Subway news for you. This is the first time they're ever doing it. The NYPD Transit unit is hosting. I'm having a tough go
It's
today.
Daddy's fault. You got this porn star. in
Danny,
here.
blah, 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 blah,
You be
blah, blah,
watching her
blah, blah.
porns and you having flashbacks. Like, man, I can't talk. She's right here. I would do the same thing if Scarlett Johansson was here, though. I'm not even gonna lie.
That is the second reference you've made on
really
this
random.
podcast. It's the second time he's brought it up, so I think that's his number one. You know how everyone has their number one? I think
That would be
Scarlett-
like your pass if you were in a relationship.
Scarlett, she's up there. She's Rihanna, Scarlett. Them two, they up there. They up there.
Remember, he's a titty guy, so
Shoot the club
Scarlett
Both
would
of them
be
out
on the
shoot the
top of
club
his
up.
list.
Shoot the club up.
But he doesn't know any porn stars because he doesn't
course
watch
not.
porn, so
Of course not.
Never.
those won't be on
But
there.
interestingly enough, I was involved with a porn star one time. I didn't know she was a porn star until like the day before I met up with her.
Just because you pulled out your camcorder.
Who was it?
And she was like,
I was like, I gotta know.
she
this.
wasn't. Well, let me not say a porn star because I think you're a porn star. She was somebody who did porn at one point in time, and it was like filmed and marketed and so
She
on
did
and so
porn.
forth.
She didn't.
That counts.
He wants to take the star part out of it.
Yeah, let me take the star part out. People, I think people kind of just throw that around like, oh, she was a porn star just because she did a porn and you could buy it someplace. Like, you're not a porn star. So she did porn, and I wish I had known because once we got to the thing, because the scene I saw was her sucking penis, and so we was about to do it, but all the thing in my mind was like, I want her to suck my penis, but I don't think she wants to right now.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to do. And so I was stuck and I was confused.
What a creepy voice.
The perfect voice for that statement, though.
I
That was
guess
perfect.
I guess it fit. All right. So what I was trying to say is the NYPD Transit Union.
Rick is gonna kill me after the show.
Well, you're the reason that I'm stuttering. I'm trying to multitask here.
Okay,
they're hosting the first ever haunted subway in the Union Square station.
I feel like that's just every day.
Thank you, because that's exactly
It's a
where I was
horror
going
fest
with this.
Every day.
Especially depending on who you talk to. There's no way that they can make it any scarier than it actually is. I'm sure that this is just for the kids, but on October 18th and 19th, I guess they teamed up with Party City, which I'm assuming that means they have costumes and props that they're gonna, somehow do something with all of that. But you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
The point is that the subway station's already a haunted house. It's a horror show.
Oh,
it's American Horror Story.
Union
is what it is.
Square, the most fucked up portion of New York City. We're going to bring a bunch of kids into the subway. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good thinking on their part.
It's just to go with the crumbling
If you
stations.
bring your children to that, you're a bad parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
well, you know what it is? It's almost... It's if you bring your child anywhere in the subway, it could be traumatic for them, or it could just get them started very early. Like, it's kind of like by the time my kid's a teenager, they're just going to be so desensitized to anything.
The kids, they just get past childhood.
Yeah.
It's like you a toddler.
You
and
don't
then
have
grown.
this. You definitely don't have the same childhood growing up in the city.
No,
seeing
at all.
the stuff. We've talked in the past about people just openly shitting on platforms, and
I don't see so many loose dicks in the subway, and it's just like amazing. It's like, wow, these loose dicks just out here.
Right.
Like kids could be walking. It'd be like 2 in the
I think
afternoon.
that's all of New York.
It really is. That's
That
why I
too.
said New York, not necessarily even the subway. New York in general, you have a different childhood. It's just not the
Like
same.
you don't have one.
You have a
Vic,
really...
you grew up in the city?
Yeah, I grew up in the
So
city.
you're a
You
great
have a
person
really
to ask.
strong reference for don't do drugs. Just sit them down on a subway and point and go, don't do drugs. Because that's what you're going to wind up becoming.
There you have it. And what was your childhood like growing up in the city?
Oh, I loved it. I loved this place.
But I guess you really didn't know anything else, right?
No, I didn't. I grew up here and on Long Island, so I was in and out of the city. Most of my family's from here, so no, yeah. I remember when Alphabet City sucked. When I remember when it was Alphabet City. I remember when Hell's Kitchen was Hell's Kitchen. There were like rules if you went to Broadway.
Pre-gentrification.
Yeah, pre Giuliani.
Right.
You didn't cross the 8th Avenue line because it was a nightmare. You never anything that had a letter in it, you didn't go anywhere near. It was like a rule. Now it's like this is like wine and roses. I mean, Disneyland took over Times Square.
He's like my New York translator.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you need one of those because you're still...
I'm like lost.
We mentioned the L train a minute ago, and you
where
go,
am I?
sure, whatever you say, Vic. L train. Don't know what that is, but sounds great, even though you were there. So he's a good person to have around, you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of a tour guide for the city, which...
I can
we
just
all do
imagine
sometimes.
somebody came like, oh yeah, how you get to Harlem? Yeah, if you hop on the D, you say that to Dani, hop on the D, like the D. Hold on,
You're
sir,
like,
what are we
"Excuse
talking
you."
about?
Offended.
Whoa.
Well, let's get out of the subway real quick because I know, like we had mentioned, you guys also follow the other account, What is New York? There was another thing that started popping up last week that I noticed. Vic, I don't know if this is a normal thing or not, and you being a native New Yorker and growing up here, maybe you can shed some light on it. There were multiple videos being sent to me about window cleaners not using harness.
I saw that.
Or
God,
anything.
yeah. No.
They're
I
just
thought that was a
12
joke.
floors up,
Oh, that's
and they're
normal.
just standing in a windowsill. Guys, we have some video if we could pull these up.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
What in the damn?
You know what's funny? You posted that and I didn't even blink.
He's
See,
like,
that's that
what
New York
floor?
part.
Like the 8th floor?
So Danny, set up what we're for the people listening. What are we seeing right now?
We're currently watching some asshole being an idiot. No, he's on like the 8th floor washing a window. I watched this like 5 times because I thought that maybe he had like a front harness or something. There's nothing.
Right.
He's just hanging onto the ledge.
And he might be more than 8 floors up.
Yeah, he might be.
When that camera zooms
up
out,
there.
he looks like he's up a lot more
How
than 8
is
floors.
that legal?
Well,
I didn't say it was legal.
there's
Yeah,
no
he's just
way
normal.
that's legal. But you know
he's
that
12 or more. He's at least 12. He's about 12 floors up.
he could probably be about 12. That seems about right. But for those of you who are listening, check out the page What is New York, and you'll be able to see the videos there. This guy is just standing on the outside of the building on the ledge, washing the windows with one of those squeegee things.
This is not his first
We have
time
another
doing
video,
this.
guys. Let's pull the other video up. The other video is pretty crazy as well. I hope you had to. think we have it.
Just to give you a reference, we recently had the windows cleaned in our apartment. Most apartments in New York City,
on?
The
23rd.
Oh.
Most apartments in New York City, you can't open the window all the way,
Right.
but there's a special key to unlock it. So
Right.
we watched these two guys walk in, unlock the window, hang out from the window, clean the windows. No harnesses, no nothing. Just
Well,
normal.
here's the second one. This is
not
another
as
building.
far up.
He's not as far,
Don't matter.
but it doesn't. His
Half
heels,
of his feet
his
are off.
heels are hanging
my
off the
God.
edge of the ledge that he's standing on. So, obviously, you see this. There's no harness.
I just don't understand.
He's not even holding on to
why.
anything.
How much he get paid for that? Like, what,
You
what he
can't
getting-
pay me enough.
There's
me.
no way.
So I don't know. I didn't know if this was a thing or not. So I'm pleading for anyone who's listening or watching. I want to get in touch. These are the type of people that I want to get into the studio and just ask, what is your life like? Like the fact that you know that you are inches away from slipping off the side and falling to your death.
I'm gonna be like, bitch, is you Spider-Man or something? Like, what's going on? Like,
Listen,
right?
for the guys that even wear the harness, I couldn't even do that. But they even have the I don't even know what you call them, but they get lowered down
On the platform?
on the platform.
Yeah.
But even those you see in the news all the time. Like
Yeah.
one side gives out and like it's falling and they're hanging off the side of the building. They're harnessed in though. I mean, yeah, they have to come. The fire department comes and rescues them, but these guys are just totally. I don't even know what you call free something.
Out of their minds.
Free cleaning.
I don't care how many times you've washed a window. I don't care if that guy comes on the show and says, "Oh, I've done it. It's fine. I won't." Like, what if you slip? You're gonna have one day where you
Right.
slip and fall to your death.
Well, I think it's more of seeing the type of person that they are. Like I wanna get inside their head and just see what
Maybe they get off on it.
He trying to Dr. Phil.
maybe.
Yeah.
I would
Adrenaline rush.
love
Yeah.
to get inside their minds and just find out.
I don't know if I
what-
want to get inside that person's mind. I don't know. You may not ever get out.
Talk about a rabbit hole.
Right, exactly.
Right. So how much would they have to pay you guys to do that?
I'm not doing that.
Because
There's no amount of
there's
money.
no amount of money. Thank you. There's no amount of money that you could pay me to do that. There's absolutely no chance.
I'm just gonna be poor.
Well, yeah. Well, all right. So that's a great point. You think about the guys who are doing that. There's no way they're making more money than a panhandler or a beggar on the train.
Or a guy working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Flip some burgers, man.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like they probably getting paid more than McDonald's, but I feel like because I think that to do that, you got to have somebody who's desperate, one, and then you put like, oh, you gonna pay $25 an hour, and that's like, wow, that's a lot of money to them to go wash these windows.
See, that's an
without that.
unfortunate angle. Like, obviously, you start feeling bad. You're like, damn, like this guy, like he's doing this because he has no choice. But my point
I think
is
that's
that
the
he
only
does
way.
have a choice.
Yeah, he always has a choice.
There's always a choice.
And you can buy a harness.
Like
you
Vic
always
just
have a
said,
choice.
you go to McDonald's, panhandle on the train, ask for money. You'll probably make good
But
money.
then
I feel like those guys
you telling
make
the
good money.
man to panhandle. That takes a lot for a man to go.
No, you know why I'm saying? Because I'm saving his life. Because he's not scaling the side of a building, walking on a ledge 12 stories up, and risking
Yeah, I
it
can
all.
do it though.
Okay.
He's a better man than me.
Strap yourself in.
Yeah, just get a harness.
Or just, yeah.
Strap yourself in.
Invest in one. Take that money and invest in one.
I mean, whoever is hiring him should be investing in harness. I don't know many people like, oh yeah, you go to Harness R Us. Let me get that harness right there. Let me get the top of the line harness. No, the one with the Italian leather. Can I get that harness, please? No, like where you buy a harness from? I don't know.
Bath and
Amazon?
Beyond. I don't know.
Today.
Bath and Beyond. It's in the Beyond section.
Yeah, the great beyond.
Yeah. Guys, let's jump into the clip of the week right here.
Next up, Subway Creatures, Clip of the Week.
All right, guys. Danny, this is the part of the show where we take one of the clips from the page and we break it down.
Yeah.
We, usually we try to find the people that are in them as well. We want to know a little bit of what's happening behind the scenes.
I don't think we're gonna find it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this one I believe was in Tokyo, so we're not going to find them. However, we do have a little bit of an update on this video. So this video was the girl who could not wake up her boyfriend
Oh, God, this is such a
on the
great video.
train, and honestly, I feel like a lot of people have been here before. Like they've been in this situation. First Freddie, why don't you set up for us what's happening in this clip for those of the people listening?
So right now it's this young lady and I think it's a man. They're on the train. The man is passed out, blacked out, drunk, and the young lady, she's trying to wake him up. She's smacking him in the face with some force, and then she kind of turns, and when you can see her face, she's like, "Oh my God, really?" She has that like look, and then she like exhales.
It's a desperation look.
Yeah, she has this exhale.
I love that his hand is like completely up her skirt.
Is it?
That might be his blackout
That's
like
what I'm
go-to
thinking.
move.
Like, do you think that he's just faking this whole thing?
Well,
to cop a feel?
the reason. Okay, so some
Are we
people.
sure it's a boyfriend?
Well, I guess we're not. I guess we're
His
not.
hand is on the thigh. Okay, his hand is on her inner thigh.
And there is one point where she kind of leans in and it looks like she's trying to kind of kiss him, almost like Sleeping Beauty kind of deal. But, you know, some people were upset because they were like, well, what if he's dead? And I was like, shut the fuck up. He's not dead. She would be a little more distraught than just sitting there slapping his face. So there was a second video where he is actually up. And guys, if we can pull that one up just to
so this is the second video.
Yeah, so this is the second video now where he is a little he's still out of it, but you can at least tell his face.
She smacked him in the eye that time.
Yeah. So he is awake. But I guess the bigger part is, and when I say some of us have been here before, have you ever been with a significant other who is in the state of blacked outness, and maybe you're on public transportation and your stop's coming and you realize, I have no idea how I'm getting them off this train right now, especially.
Well, if it's your girlfriend, someone smaller than you that you can maybe like lift and fireman carry off, but for her, that guy's like twice her size.
And dead weight?
Like, yeah.
Well, okay, so Dani, I agree with you, but when I was in college, my girlfriend, who was like 90 pounds soaking wet, she had one of those episodes where it wasn't even that bad, where we were in a car and not the train. And I tried to get her out of the back of the car just to walk into the apartment. And her body weight, dead weight, because it's not like a 90-pound dumbbell you're carrying.
It's not solid, it's fluid.
It's like their limbs and like, so you try to, like, I kept trying to pick her up and her body was like jello, like falling through my arms. So you just have to like, it's a lot more.
Yeah, like what she said, fireman.
You got a fireman, yeah. You got a fireman carry.
Yeah. Which looks awful, by the way. If you're walking by,
anything
don't worry,
that has
guys.
a
This is my
badge.
girlfriend. I swear it's my girlfriend.
I'm calling the police. If I see them calling the police, hashtag me too. And
No roofies were involved, I swear to God. It's all
Yeah. It looks awful, but it's harder than it
for
seems.
Me, if I saw that, I would probably tell someone because I would think that you had probably drugged that girl.
Right. And
That's
so
honest.
I'm
That's
looking
exactly
at this
what I would
scenario right now. Vic is blackout drunk on the train. What is going through your head? What's your plan?
I've never seen my husband drunk.
So do you drink or are you not?
I do.
He does.
You do.
Yeah, he just can. I've never seen him in that state.
See, I have a couple friends who you think you've never seen them drunk, but they're like the next day you text them, they're like, "Hey, what's up, man?" They were like, "What happened last night?" And you're like, "You hid that very well."
I got a guy.
But sorry, I cut you off.
Like hypothetically, like I don't know. It would be I'd call somebody.
What would you? All right, so let me ask you this: what would be your method of trying to get him to snap out of it? Because people they were like, I'd throw cold water on him. Sit on his face. Would that wake you up?
Probably, yeah. Probably wake me up. Definitely. And that's why I love my wife.
That is such.
In case you were wondering.
That is such a great response that I was not expecting. That was amazing.
Like, violently hit him. I don't know. It just
like her.
Yeah.
Well, what she was doing.
Well, someone jokingly said, go through his phone and he'll immediately snap out of it. Which
probably true too.
Yeah. Somehow I feel like that is something a guy would do.
The way she was hitting him, it ain't nothing to grab his thumb and just set it on top of the phone and it's gonna open up. And then as soon as that happens, he's like, what's going on? What's happening? He gonna wake straight up, straight away.
There is something about touching people's phones where they'll snap right out of it. Whatever they doing. People come out of comas before
the adrenaline hits.
The adrenaline.
Exactly.
So that's obviously a scary situation for more particularly I guess a woman to be in, because there is that desperation where you're like, how many stops are we going to go past our home?
Yeah.
That
also,
I'm going to be
how far does she have to walk past the station?
You gotta get them up or down some stairs too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're and you know what? I don't know if this has ever happened to you. Clearly, it hasn't happened to you guys. Getting a cab with someone in that state.
Good luck.
Even an Uber will drive by you. They will not. They see that and they're like, hell no, that person's not getting in my car.
Which makes sense, but that actually happened to me New Year's Eve of 2015 going into 2016. I had a young lady up in New York, and I went to a party open bar, and I got wasted, and she had to get an Uber to get me home. I'm surprised she was able to get an Uber, and she was a trooper because she was tall. She was 5'2", 110 pounds.
So you've been in this situation?
Yes.
Oh, so
How'd she
what was
wake
the
you
outcome?
up?
Yeah. What was the how did that play
Were
out?
you stumbling drunk or were you out?
Oh, I was like 10% in.
Ooh.
Like 10%. I wasn't 0% out.
Well, what was the 10%? Like what?
I was like, I would kind of come to and then just see I saw a plastic bag. Like when I was throwing up in the Uber.
Oh, so we're jumping right to that.
So much
I mean,
better.
that's all I knew. The next day she filled in all of the story. But yeah, I was in the Uber, and then I remember because I had thrown up so much, it was just you know when you just done. I woke up a little bit for that because it was pressing on my diaphragm.
Now you're puking up your soul and all of your
my whole spirit, soul, and aspirations that I had in life. That's the part that's coming up right now.
self-respect that's thrown up. Yeah, it's all gone.
I've been there before. Where you're just like, just put me down, just kill me because I don't want to deal with this hangover
Right.
anymore.
Like, I'm trying to hit the fast forward button to tomorrow. Like I'm like and then I got in the house, and then the next day I woke up, I was like, and I had like a crusty throat.
Oh,
Shit.
And she talked to you the next day?
Yeah.
That's a good woman right there.
That's a girl you marry.
That's
Yeah,
a good woman right there.
Because at the end of the day, because you talked about my gloves being stretched out and they being too small for my hands, when you have appendages,
Here comes something stupid, guys.
something
Hope you're
about his
ready.
dick for sure.
Yeah.
elegante. Yes. See, Dani, because she can see the future. See that? See how she saw the future coming? Yeah. Elegante. That it does things like that. So hey, what can I say?
You know what's funny
You went
is
from
that
throwing up in the back of an Uber to your dick being too big for your gloves?
compensation. He's trying to compensate.
What happened in between there?
Yeah.
Where did...
Freddie B is what happened in between that, guys.
You know what's funny is that Kim jokingly was like, I don't want to sit this episode out because this is how people get replaced on the show. Ironically
I
enough,
wanna
Freddie's
meet
getting
her.
replaced.
She sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, she is awesome, and you will if you come for Dan Perino next week, which I really want you to because I feel like you need to meet this guy.
We're
Yeah,
not
I'm
here next
so
week.
in for
But
that.
we are here for the next portion of that, trying to get him
Okay.
date.
Well, we're gonna revolve that around you guys then.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Oh, you guys
revolve
aren't
you
in
guys
town.
around.
We're not
yeah.
down next week.
Okay. Well,
that
that's
was
unfortunate, but I'll let you know how it goes. And I'm sure it's gonna be very interesting.
I want to help him get a date. I love.
Yes, that I'm honestly.
Is
we've
he
been.
like when you talked to him? Was he serious? Is this like a serious thing he does?
This is a very serious thing. He does not play around. In fact, he was a little hesitant to do it because he didn't want people to think that this is a joke. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not joking. Like, we want to find you a date. We want to find you, like, even though we'll have some fun with it.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. And he was like, well, all right, I guess we can do this. I just, I want to, be very cautious how we approach this. And I was like, that's fine.
He wants to be cautious how you approach this. The man posts flyers in Union Square. And he's
I'm
talking
telling
about
you, when you talk
caution.
to him, he is so
Caution.
passionate about this.
He probably thinks it's a good idea.
He
just wouldn't
Maybe,
put
you
cautious to it. Call me crazy. I mean, it's a great idea, but it's not cautious.
At all.
All right. Well, we do have a quick interview coming up with, and this should be great, James Cordero from the MTA, who's here to give us a couple of not only pointers, but give us a couple examples of the crazy stuff that he sees in the subway. So we definitely want to get to that. And then don't go anywhere because after that, Dani, we definitely want to talk to you guys a little bit more about what you have going on and the new show that you have coming out. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are in the studio here with James Cordero, the MTA employee. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to Gas Digital, James.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
James, look, James, you starting out to look too cool, man. This Subway Creatures. How you feeling, James?
I'm good.
That's what I'm talking
We got
about.
our hype man over here.
Right.
I've been looking forward to this all week. As soon as you said you were coming, I feel like this is just one of those interviews that it could go anyway, and I really am anxious to hear what kind of stories you have. Can you just tell everyone what exactly your job is and how long you've been doing what you're doing?
I've been working for New York City Transit for 20 years, and I'm a do station maintenance. So just make sure that the stations look tight.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
no.
I can tell you've been working a long time. This hat, you got the old school throwback Michelin Ness MTA hat
Oh,
on.
man. You know how many graffiti artists were like, damn, can you get me some of those stickers, the big stickers that that they have on the side of the train?
Oh, yeah.
Those are the classics.
What are they going to do with that?
Graffiti? I ain't gonna tell them what graffiti is.
Shit, maybe stick it in their rooms.
I guess that it'd be a collector's item after
Yeah.
a while, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You got a
I
lot
want
of
one of them
guys.
hats. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, if you got any extra
they are
hats,
pretty
you know,
tight.
you're not new to this. You true to this.
Okay. James, I got to start off by asking you this. And I know that you're also a fan of the podcast, so you've actually seen a few of the episodes, if not all of them.
Oh, man.
And you're probably that person sitting home just being like, you're just cringing, and you're like, I live this every day. There was an episode, and Dani, wait till you hear this. And I just need you to tell me if these stats are accurate, if they're an understatement, if they're an overstatement. So there was a New York Times report talking about how often the trains have been cleaned. And this, I guess this study was done in 2016. Now, out of 5.6 million riders on a typical weekday, the subway handrail has 900 times more germs than the backseat table on an airplane, which is considered the dirtiest part of an airplane. Okay. Now, according to the New York Times article, subway cars are cleaned every 8 to 10 weeks. And it takes one person 3.5 hours to clean it by hand overnight. Now, how accurate is that?
When I heard that, I remember I was walking down the street. I was going to drop off a form at J Street, where it's MTA headquarters at. I stopped and I'm like, oh, no. And I think I hit you up. I said, listen, something, but no, it's after the trains get pulled out of PM rush, they go back into the yard and they get worked on every night.
Every night.
Okay.
Now,
Every night.
I was real stressed out when you said that.
Now,
It's
what?
crazy.
So every night. Now, what are we talking though? Because now, this can't be like one guy cleaning every single
No.
railing in the train. What are we talking when you say it gets taken out every night?
You got 2 guys per train, and there's 3-4 trains a night for those 2 guys.
Okay.
But I'm talking about there's 4 trains he has to do, he has 2 people with him. And then the next couple of trains, 2 people. Mm-hmm. So it's not like one person, 2 people are in the yard with a whole bunch of trains to do.
Okay. So where are they getting these numbers from?
Beats me.
So 8 to 10 weeks doesn't sound familiar to you?
Can you imagine how dirty them subway cars will be?
Well, can you guys pull up the one video? So I want to ask you what happened to this guy who, I guess this is like a thing. People put their mouths on the poles, because I've gotten enough video of people doing this.
It's amazing.
That it blows my mind. But, you almost want to say that people like this.
So when you see this, what comes to your mind when you see this? Like, is this as bad as we think it is?
Dude, the train didn't just come out of the yard. That's been in service. You know how many hands went on that? And he's probably loving that syphilis or whatever he's going to get on his.
Okay, so it is as bad as we thought it was. Okay, cool.
No.
Dani, can you real quick sum up for the people who are listening and don't have visual right now? Can you sum up what we're watching?
I'm actually the most impressed about his ankle hooked around the bottom of the pole.
I didn't even see that.
See,
Wow.
that's
He's like bracing himself. He's like
something-
stripper bracing
Wow.
himself.
That's what I was about to
see
say. He's about to do a twirl.
So
kiss
what
me, my
else
love.
is going on?
So I don't think it would matter if that train came out of a cleaning 15 minutes prior to this. This dude is in trouble.
No one's cleaning that pole good enough for
Right.
you to
That's
put your
my
mouth on
point.
it.
It's
Because he's basically making sweet love and tongue kissing the pole, and he's holding it like Dani said. His ankle is wrapped around. Like if that was a woman, Dani, would you appreciate that?
No. That's all bad.
Well, if you remember, I want to say it was a demo or pilot episode we did, we had the girl who was so drunk and she was laying on the bench and she was just licking the pole up
She
and
was
down.
licking like it was a clitoris.
Oh, it was gross.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They
you know,
gave
you lick a clitoris.
The game
you know
is
what I'm talking
real. Oh,
about? I'm just
the little man in the boat.
the little man in the boat.
Yes, sir.
We might have just named this episode with that one line right there.
But
the little man in the
that's an
boat.
old school
I've
player
heard a
move
lot.
right there.
I've never heard that.
See, no, that's an
We've
old
got
school
the
player
perfect
move right
person
there.
here for that. Have you ever heard the little man in the boat?
No.
See, like it's so many things old school players will say. You know, so I can tell like back in the day. Oh man, I know you probably just run these hoes up and down the block. Like, oh yeah, look, have you got your little man in the boat licked?
Well, how about the fact that we have James Cordero, the MTA employee here, and then we also have Danny Daniels in here, and the person that I learned the man in the boat from is James Cordero, the MTA employee.
MTA employee, yeah.
Mind is blown right now. That's great. So here's another thing I wanted to ask you that I think a lot of people, especially in New York on the MTA, that we always want to know, and this is a very common thing. When you're on the train and you hear there's train traffic ahead or there are delays, sometimes I feel like they're just not being honest and they're just kind of feeding us some bullshit. So the only reason I say this is that there was one instance where that's exactly what happened. They said there's train traffic ahead, which I guess technically isn't a lie. But then the next announcement was we're now going to bypass 42nd Street due to an incident. And when we bypassed, the train very slowly went through the station. But as I looked out the window on the platform, there was someone who probably was in your position. Who knows? Maybe it was you. And they were mopping up what appeared to be just blood all over the platform. So is it necessarily...
What the hell, Rick? Like that? Yes, train traffic, skip the station, whatever you need to do. I'm okay with it.
How often is it really that there's train traffic and the shit that they're feeding us? How often is that true, or compared to probably someone running down the tunnel or someone doing something really fucked up?
It's usually, it could be somebody tossed something onto the tracks. And then, if a train goes through it, it'll derail. So or like I said, it could be a police chasing somebody down and they didn't want him. If he's inside the tunnels, he doesn't want to get hit.
They got to kill the power, right? Because you had mentioned to me something interesting about the third rail,
right?
Which we just did an episode on the third rail.
That was the best.
Danny, do you know about the third rail in the subway?
No.
Hell no.
Okay.
So
well,
the third rail.
You know about a different kind of third rail.
Speaking of which, I do gotta, about the elegante. I've talked about it on the show, the elegante.
Yeah. Anyone who talks this much about it is full of shit.
That's pimp class.
The elegante.
So a quick refresher for our company. The third rail is what basically gives the train power.
Right.
And
600 volts of electricity go to there.
So you touch that and you're done.
Yeah, because it's not the voltage that kills you, it's the amperage. And it's DC current. It's not like AC at your home that you could just, once DC gets a hold of you, it's direct.
He ain't gonna let you go.
The next person tries to pull you, boom, he's done too.
Oh.
It keeps pulling you.
So you can't touch that person until they kill the power on the line.
Yeah.
So one person could touch it, then somebody else could touch that person, and somebody else is gonna just keep traveling.
He touches it, we all touch it, we're done.
So Danny,
they're gonna have to scrape us off with a crowbar.
So why do people jump in front of trains? Just jump on the third rail.
It's a great point. How do you really fight that argument? That is a great
Don't
point.
hold up traffic.
Suicide argument.
Just go onto the rail. I feel like New Yorkers don't care. There's blood in the street or wherever.
Well, how often?
They're just stepping over shit.
How often do we hear there's delays because someone decided to jump in front of a train? It's almost a daily occurrence.
It's just that if they could suppress it, to keep it suppressed.
So they don't actually
really
like talking about it because it almost promotes.
Right.
Okay.
They want to. They're talking about bringing the same system that Japan has to prevent suicides here.
What's that?
The pushing thing?
No. The walls.
Yeah, the glass walls. So if you guys have ever been to JFK,
okay,
the airport, and those trams have the glass doors that are right before you actually get onto the air train, I believe that's what you're referring to because I actually heard the same thing.
Yep.
It's just if they want to do that, our MetroCard ticket will probably be $5 to $10 a ride now.
From what I hear, MTA don't even have money to have all the trains run on time. So it's like, let alone build this whole wall on each station. Like, that is a whole nother situation.
This subway system is over 115 years old. So you renovate, you fix, and then you go to the next station and start to do that up and down the line. This new stuff starts to wear down. Mm-hmm. It's just like the only thing you could do is imagine you could shut down the MTA completely, start from scratch.
That's anarchy.
And that's basically what they're doing for the L train, right?
Yeah.
Is the L train really going to shut down?
They want to. The MTA has come up with so many ideas of how to convenience people to still, and they don't want to hear it. They don't. It's bad. It's bad that the landlords from those buildings along that line, they're giving free rents, half a rent, just to keep people living in those buildings, because the L line is the lifeline of
it's for safety.
It really is. It's
like people that complain when flights are delayed. It's like, wouldn't you rather they fix a plane now than in the air?
You know how
That's a good point.
You know how long it will take to fix the L line if they do it on a weekend basis or nightly basis?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing
I'm sure.
To make it clear for people who listen and who may not know what we're talking about, the L line connects Williamsburg, Brooklyn, North Brooklyn to Manhattan. So
it is a main artery.
Right, it's a main artery. So if you're in North Brooklyn, if the L line shuts down, that means you have to add like a 40-minute commute to your train commute to get to the same place you could get to in like 10 minutes. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah. You will have to at least leave your house a half hour, an hour early in the mornings. But you probably read in the paper that they want to have shuttle buses run from Williamsburg over the Williamsburg Bridge and go on 14th Street. They will shut traffic down and have buses just running. People don't want to hear that. They're not happy with that.
Well,
so how do you...
The rent is so goddamn high in New York that people do it because they're paying for the convenience of having things at their fingertips.
Right.
So when something like this happens, I feel like it's just it's one of those things where, they were already talking about rent dropping because of all of this in Brooklyn. And people are still paying an arm and a leg for rent out there anyway. So now that you are going to be inconvenienced, people are obviously looking to get the hell out of there because, like you just said, it'll add up to an hour to their commute one way. And that'll take a toll on people. They'll be anarchy and pissed. Switching subjects real quick. I did want to ask you, just constantly being in the subway, and especially with the shift that you have, I feel like you probably have seen some shit. Are there any stories that kind of stand out to you that maybe you could share with us, whether it's interactions with people or animals that you've seen or anything along those lines? I think that's another thing that people really want to hear.
Like I was telling you guys before, the one that stands out the most to me because it's something that I just don't understand. There was a couple coming down the stairs at 103rd Street on the 6th, and I'm in the booth taking a heat break because it was one of those summer nights. And a hood rat guy, and a nice girl from Upper East Side. They come down, you hear them talking or something, so, we're like, raise the volume to listen and say, what's going on? So they come and say, oh yeah, can't wait for the blah, blah, blah. So while they came to the turnstiles, she pulled out her Metro card. She was about to swipe. He grabs her hand and says, baby, what happened? The girl tells the guy. He said, babe, what about me? I said, what do you mean, what about you? I said, I don't have no money to get on. Oh, but I thought you had money from that stuff, So after we started thinking, it was like, oh, what stuff? Oh, there's a reason why you come to Spanish Harlem. So... Why?
I'm not from here. Why?
I'll tell you.
Oh.
So, so he's like, no, if you want, I'll get you a card. I got you. He's like, nah, if you love me, you will hop over the turnstile. I was like, what? why do I gotta, what? You fucking somebody else? You fucking somebody else? Huh? He said, whoa. The homegirl's looking at him like, oh, what does that have to do with anything? They didn't know that the cops were in the room. They're looking to the grate. They were doing, fare evaders.
Oh yeah. So real quick on that.
I was just gonna say, if you could share with us what you mean when you say the cops were in the room, because a lot of people don't know this.
Usually, police officers, they will go in a room and try to catch fare evaders.
Right.
And this room's down in the subway.
It could be any of the room. All they need is
What is it, like a secret room with like a mirror or something? That they can see
no,
through?
It has cameras, right?
No, they could have the door cracked. Like they could have the door cracked.
Oh, they're just watching.
This is old school then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this particular room has, those little wind grates.
Yeah.
There's a fan. So if you shut the fan off, you can see right through it.
Oh, okay.
So she's like looking. It's like, so he has her Metro card, and she's like, what, you fucking run? Huh? You fucking run? So she's like, nah, but what does that have to do with anything? Let me get you a card. And he's like, no. So she said, you know what? Because I love you, I'm gonna jump over this turnstile.
Oh no.
And she was dressed really nice with the heels and everything. He swipes himself in. She jumps to show the love that she has for this guy. The cops come out while they're going to, ma'am. He's like, he takes off. He's like, baby, call me when you get out. Call me when you get out.
Wow.
And dips on it. He goes and leaves. And she just,
no dick's that good.
It gets better. So now they say, ma'am, can you, and it was a female officer and a male officer. The female officer says, that's your punk ass boyfriend? He just left you here. He took your Metro card and left you here. So when they took, asked her for ID and everything, they took her inside. They found 2 bags of 220s on her of weed. So now they caught her for possession.
Oh my god.
And fare evasion.
This girl's having a night.
So they take her away. 4 days later, where I'm in the booth taking a heat break again.
Take a lot of breaks.
Heat break. I ain't never heard of that type of break. That man take heat break. Water break, smoke break, heat break, cold break.
Listen, if you're union, I'm sure you find any way.
No, we're entitled to our 15 minutes.
Right.
But, so guess who comes down the stairs?
Your man.
Homeboy and the homegirl.
They're still together? Oh my
Honestly,
God.
that's
Slanging
one of
that
those
meat.
situations I'm not surprised.
God.
Whoosh, whoosh,
And
whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
guess who comes out of the room?
The police.
The same cops that locked her up.
So they did it again?
No, this time they both paid.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's like, oh, what the hold on a second, what? And they said, well, you jealous? You jealous? That's my girl. She knows what time it is.
Oh.
One of those.
So he said, get the fuck out of the station. So she comes and says, you believe this?
Hold on, the police kicked him out the station?
No, they get the fuck out of here. Like, leave.
The dude and the girl.
Yeah, not out of the station, but inside the subway. Just go take the train.
Oh, okay.
And she comes up to us. She says, you believe this shit? This girl, we locked her up. We put that her father's a lawyer. Came down.
Shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
And he said, yo, like you said, the dick, he must be really going in on her.
Well, you know what it is? He also probably knew that her father was a lawyer. Yeah. So he's like, you take the fall. I've got priors.
Exactly.
I'm not falling on the sword for you on this.
But the thing is, if he was going to do that,
Who's gonna
would
buy
he?
him the?
I know.
But
That's crazy.
honestly.
But the thing is, he could have carried the weed. He swiped himself in. The cops were not going to look at him.
Right.
She was only going to get hit with the fare evasion, get a ticket, and be sent on your merry way.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, man, he picking him right though. He doing something right. I can't knock his hustle, man. He got a girl, got a dad as a lawyer, and she got bread. Like he winning.
And Elegant is doing his thing.
Yeah.
He got that elegante. I can't salute to you, Mr. Yes, you got the elegante too. So hey, game recognized game. I see what you're doing, boss. That's what I'm talking about.
So another thing I wanted to ask you, and we are running low on time, so we'll see how long this takes. And obviously the list is so long of questions that we have. The MTA Lost and Found. I'm dying to know what the fuck that room looks like in the MTA.
It's the Best Buy of everything that you can imagine.
What?
You could imagine. they have dentures. People lose dentures in there.
Who's claiming that?
I'm tripping off. He said it's the best buy of everything. The first thing you name is dentures.
Dentures, because
James,
a coworker of mine
It's the best buy of everything. What they got down there? Dentures.
They got dentures. But yo, they find everything under the sun. Everything.
What are some of the weirdest things that you've seen in there?
Besides dentures.
Besides dentures, which is weird, but at the same time, I almost feel like that's understandable. I've received a lot of videos of people falling asleep, and it's like usually old people, and they fall asleep, and while they're sleeping, dentures just fall out of their face.
But you wake up at some point, and you realize.
But at that point, someone might have already taken them or kicked them, or you never know.
They like roll down the track.
I'm just saying they might not be around you anymore.
Where's my
at the point you wake up?
I know. One of you
Dentures is weird, but there's got to be a lot of weird
But there's
stuff.
people who like get up and oh shit, my stop. They run, leg falls off.
What?
There's a leg in Lost and
like
Found?
prosthetic legs
Somebody
or something.
left their leg.
James.
Yeah.
James.
I'm
How
telling
do you get off the train?
How can you get up and run missing a leg?
When you go like this, it has happened. People
But how
leave their
you get
bags
up and
behind.
run with no leg?
Here's what I'm saying. Think about what you're saying. You just
No
said
leg.
someone lost their leg and got up and ran away.
But by the time but you know what I mean? Like they'll get up and they'll like, oh shit, my leg or something. Like.
Like Oscar
I'm not there. I'm not there when shit happens. But these
Yo,
But there's a whole leg.
He said they lost their leg and got up and ran
How many legs are in the Lost
away.
and Found right now?
I have
More
no
than
idea.
one?
I wish I worked there because you can.
James, answer me this. So when you walk into Lost and Found and you see the leg, because you're not the only person to see the leg in there, I know y'all playing with these legs.
No, I don't know about that.
I know y'all taking them and like, oh, look at me.
Trying to get my man fired? He can't. Even if he did, he's not going to say that.
That's
right
why
now.
I don't work there, because I'll be in the back. Look at this leg. Look.
Doing the jig, right?
What voice was that?
No, but there's a lot of
That's my
things.
Chappelle show laugh.
Bikes,
Right.
A lot,
Well,
Who
phones.
found the leg?
Passengers, they'll take it to the booth and they'll say, "Look, I found this on the
They'll
train."
just have it in their hand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be sex toys. There's got to be lots of stuff.
lot
No
of
one's coming in
stuff.
claiming their dildo after it touched the floor.
Oh my God.
There's no way.
Can't
That's
you
dead
wash it
now.
off? Don't you supposed to wash it off?
Oh, there's no washing
Are people
that.
claiming dildos?
That's just no.
when you
infection.
when you have girlfriends slapping you in the face with dildos, yeah.
Oh, tell us the slap face
Can you
dildo
elaborate?
story.
Can you elaborate on what you just said?
This Sunday.
It reminds me of myself.
Oh, this was Sunday.
Yeah, this happened
This
last
past Sunday.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh God, it's a good story. So I start at 5 a.m. I'm walking to the end of the platform and I see two girls. They're fighting and, oh, what the fuck? Why are you looking at other women for? I'm here, don't you? And the other girl who's getting yelled at, she's just going in her purse. Look at me when I'm talking to you. What's wrong with you? I'm tired of this shit. And the other girl's just quiet and I'm walking. I'm lowering the...
Turn the volume down so
Turn
you
the
can
volume.
eavesdrop your hustle.
And then she's like, God damn it, I'm talking to you. Look at me. She,
She dick slapped her girlfriend.
So explain what you just said for those listening.
She pulled out a rubber dick.
About the size of my Elegante?
With the...
Yeah, it looks on.
What color was it?
It was beige. With the with the balls and the suction cup, and
she cracked her in the face.
She went poof.
Oh my God.
And then she said, now you're gonna listen to me. And what you hit me for? And she started barking on her. I said, oh shit, I'm walking away. I started walking away. 15 minutes I come upstairs, they hugging, they kissing, and like.
Do you know
happened.
the disrespect that goes into slapping someone in the face with a fucking rubber dick?
Wait, do you
Wait,
know?
how about the fact she keeps that dick in her purse on standby?
Yes.
Thank you.
In
That's
case she
another
wants to
part.
slap
That's
the
a
shit out of her
that's a-
girlfriend.
And I told.
It's like a strap in your purse.
But look, you gotta imagine.
It could be a weapon, I guess. You can consider that a weapon.
But hey, look, the thing about the disrespect of just smacking somebody in the face with a dick, period, whether it's real or fake. Have you ever done that?
Danny, is there really a disrespect? Because there is an audience for that.
What?
Just
Getting
smacking
First of
bitches
all,
across the face in the dick?
Who's chasing a girl in the house with their dick out trying to slap them?
No, I'm saying like, you know when the girl's about to fellatio. You know what I
Suck
mean?
his dick?
You feel me? When he about to do that, and then before it gets in the mouth, because you can make your penis jump. Did you know that?
Some men, not all men.
All
You're
men
a
can't do that?
talented man.
All men can't do that?
I don't know. I don't have a dick. I can't tell you.
Listen.
I just wanted to make you feel special.
This fucking guy. This is, by the way, he's not. There's no point to this story
He's
other
going
than him
home
trying
and
to make
walking
this
around his
known
house
to everyone.
Like this.
Fred, can you imagine if Kim was here? She would have lost her marbles.
Kim would be going off right now.
God damn it, Freddie.
Absolutely, she would, because there's nothing that pisses her off more than Freddie talking about his dick, or his elegante, as he likes to call it.
Elegante. You gotta say it like that.
Is that the name for your dick?
Elegante.
That's the name you chose?
Elegante.
I don't,
Just like that.
I feel like there's like a lot of like oil on your dick.
That's like
you keep it well lubed.
That's like
he definitely looks like he's got an oily dick.
Jerry curl juice.
Oh yeah, there you go. See, that backfired real quick on you.
Boom.
I didn't backfire. She brought the oil and the use went with
Thank
it.
you for bringing that
you
up.
had like that like Spanishy kind of accent, like Fabio dick.
Elegante.
Yeah,
Because it's fancy.
Like an Antonio Banderas type shit.
Exactly.
yeah.
You ever seen the movie that he was in? Desperado.
Classic.
You know, he had the cigar case. The case. The guitar case with the gun in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of guitar, it's just my pants. Oh my God. You get it? Y'all get it? You get it?
And this is where the audience tunes out.
Do you have a name for your penis, sir?
Yes, James. I know you do, James.
The L train.
Oh man.
Quick. She was quick. I don't know if you asked that because you had that already set up,
No,
but that was good.
That's the only train I know.
What's your name?
The D train.
The D. Is there a D train?
There is a D train.
Damn.
Oh my
Are you a
God.
New Yorker or not?
I've only been here for 2 years.
That's you don't want to hear the crazy part? That's a lot longer than the girl you're sitting in for.
All right.
Kim has only been here about 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah, something like
so you actually have a lot of leverage on her as far as that goes. But
I've only been here for 18 years. What are you guys talking about? Why would I know that?
I still don't know East and West. It's hard.
well, James, thank you very much. These stories,
anytime.
This is exactly what we needed, and we may need you to come back because you know what's going to happen after this. There's going to be a lot of people writing in who are going to say, you guys didn't ask about this, you didn't ask about that. Yeah. And that's going to happen because we can only fit so much into a half hour. So when they do that, we're just going to have you back on the show. So
you'll be our
I
resident.
hope you're up for that.
Yeah. This is fun.
You're gonna be our resident Subway expert.
Oh, you're absolutely going to be.
Sometimes
our go-to.
Sometimes when I feel like when I'm listening to the podcast and you're answering questions, I'm like, damn, I wish I could just type the answer in. Oh, well, we got the answer right here. Oh,
for the record,
like a lifeline.
See, that would be phone a friend. Yeah, and go live. You know, the information that I get is not bullshit. I find it online. So the interweb never lies. So I just want you to know that is the source of where this information comes from. But that's also another reason why having you on is great, because you can fact check the shit out of us and it's coming straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So I appreciate you being here.
And I'm glad, you know, you started a good show, because there's a lot of things that the average, like when I tell this to my family, friends and family, they're like, nah. Because the average person takes the train, goes to work, goes to school, whatever, and go home. Mm-hmm. We're there.
Oh, you live down there. Yeah.
Live in that world.
You're in the subway longer than you're probably at home, right? I mean,
we constantly see things and we're like, oh my God, you can't make this up. You can't make this up.
What's the worst time of day to take the train?
That's a great question.
Like, what should I avoid?
I will say the AM and the PM rush hour. The nighttime. Oh, tip for females, because I seen friends how they go out together, especially women. They go out together. They come bombed into the subway. Put your drunk homegirl into the train. Call me when you get home.
Oh no!
Call me when you get home. Love you too. And you're like, you fucking.
Hey, whoa.
That is
You
not a
said,
good friend.
Wait, right.
Exactly.
That's not their homegirl. They didn't put their drunk homegirl in the
But
train.
we
They
see
put
it
a
all
drunk
the-
woman that they happen to go out with that night onto a train.
But
They
we
are not
we
friends.
see it all the time, and we're like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're almost an accomplice at that point to a crime because I agree. You can't. There was a video. It wasn't New York, but there was a video. I believe it was actually in Europe somewhere. Which go figure. But these girls, their friend was blackout drunk. They put her in a shopping cart and rolled the shopping cart onto the train, and the doors just boom boom closed. And the friends were dying laughing. They were all filming it. And I remember posting it because at first I thought it was funny, but then I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if this girl even made it home.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
You really have to like think about stuff like that. You know, maybe that's the one night you splurge for an Uber or a cab because
That's just
that could be the
common
last
sense.
that could be the last time you see that person.
Or at least ride with her half of the way or something. I don't understand. And we see now that I work mornings, I see the walk of shame.
Those are great sometimes. Though.
These guys hop over the turnstile, opens the gate for the girl to walk through. Call me later. Text me when you get home.
I mean, that's a little bit.
Wow.
The walk
At
of
least
shame
he's
the
not
next morning is a
wasted.
little bit more understandable.
He lost with that. What he supposed to do?
At least
I
he
mean-
walked her to the.
She's blasted drunk.
Yeah.
She not blasted drunk. is
Well, I
she?
thought
No,
the walk of shame's the next morning.
Yeah,
no?
right.
Is that not what we're
Yeah,
talking about?
she got some dick. She gotta go home, right?
There's a couple.
yeah, get home. Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick, there's a couple I
Yeah,
see
bye.
every morning. A couple every morning. He hops, opens the gate. She goes through, kisses her. Have a good day at work, babe. And then he leaves.
Where are the cups in the
Yeah, that's
closet
what
for
I was
this
gonna
one?
say. Every day.
I wouldn't even do that. I'm not hopping over to risking my freedom.
Yes.
I'm like, from my door. Bye.
And
you get home.
But the thing is, you have a job. Why can you?
Freddie doesn't have a fucking
Swipe a
job.
Metro
This
card
is
and-
Freddie's job. Freddie.
Oh, I'm telling you, I know we're out of time, but oh my god.
Well,
we
all
could
right.
get into
That's why
rabbit holes.
I'm exactly, and those are super dangerous because not only that, but we've been guilty of going down those rabbit holes,
What is
and you
that?
get so off topic. It's just like all of a sudden this conversation spawns a.
Oh, I thought there were
walk
like
of
actual
shame.
holes in the subway that people go down. I'm like, where are these?
There are
So-
these
so-
rabbit
so
holes
one
between
day-
tracks.
One day,
way
We got
too
me,
late.
Rick, and Danny.
No,
we
those
all
aren't
gonna
exactly.
we gonna just be in New York and just be on the train all day and just hit places.
Danny, those aren't rabbit holes. Those are rat holes.
Rat
and those are they're bigger than rabbits.
Danny, like, I've only been here 2 years. You mean to tell me those holes are rabbit holes? They're rabbits in New York?
The poor things probably get run over.
I'm gonna adopt some.
No, you don't want to fuck.
gotta
If
kill
there,
them.
by the way, if there were rabbits in the subway, you wouldn't want to fuck with them because
anything.
they would be, like mutated. They would
No,
be
they
some
would be Bugs
fucked up
Bunny on
rabbits.
drugs. You know,
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny drinks that drug fluid he used to drink as a kid. He's like, and his ears be like jagging and stuff. They would be like that in the New York subway.
The Holy Grail.
Exactly. So again, thank you for coming, and I can't wait because the next time we do have you on, and I'm just saying that because there's gonna be a next time.
Yeah,
You're gonna have even more stories. I'm sure of it. So I look forward to those, and again, we could probably do this every episode and have.
You need like
Over a
every
half
episode story segment.
You really do. I mean, the conversation, like you said, can just keep going and going and going.
Yeah,
so.
Story time with Uncle James.
Oh,
There's 33,000 of us, and can you imagine the stories?
well, don't say that because then I'm going to find someone else to get some fresh content. So
Yeah.
we'll keep you coming back. So again, thank you so much for coming by. It was
Jay.
great having
Thank you.
And we will be right back with some questions for Dani, so don't go anywhere. All right, guys. James Cordero, the MTA employee. That was interesting, huh?
Yeah.
You should
He's
have
got-
him on every time.
We really should.
You have like a little segment with him.
He would be a great reoccurring character. He had some stories, and I feel like that was just the tip of the
Oh,
iceberg.
I think he was. I was sitting off in the corner. I think he was holding back. I think he wanted to test the waters. I think he got some
absolutely
winners
did.
coming.
He didn't know how far he could push the envelope.
Right.
But I think now that he has one show under his belt, I think that
That's usually how it is.
it's gonna be very interesting moving forward with him on the show. But this is the section where Dani, I want to talk to you guys. We had a couple fan questions for you.
Sure.
A couple questions that I had, maybe Freddie has.
You know I got questions.
I just want to start off the bat. What is the dynamic here? So you do porn, but your husband Vic is here, who's not even in the industry.
No, not at all.
What's How does
what's your
this work
relation?
for you guys?
So-
Are there any rules or anything?
We met at a baby shower,
Yeah.
Swag.
and we're friends for a long time, and then we started dating. Kind
Because
of
a
like
player. I see. I see what he's doing.
I troll baby showers.
Best place, baby showers and weddings.
Funerals.
Killer. Funerals.
yeah.
I was
but-
gonna say that, but that's a little too macabre.
Nah, man, you've seen the movie Wedding Crashers, right?
Yeah, wedding crashes, but then you see the funeral crashing part. That's where it all falls apart. You got Will Ferrell. Ma!
No, it's great. It's great. Sorry, we cut you off.
That's just welcome to the club. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're married. I'm in the industry. He's not.
And
He's cool with
are
me showing
there?
my butthole. I mean, whatever. He's a good man.
I think. Did we just lose your mic?
Uh-oh.
Testing 1, 2. Test.
Did we lose Freddie's mic?
It's because he was going to say something sassy.
Are you connected right there? Oh, there you go, Freddie. You popped your mic out.
Okay, my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
He gets very excited talking about this type of stuff. So sorry to cut you off again.
Okay, what were you going to say?
No, what I was gonna say was this is the second time we've mentioned buttholes. What is going on? Y'all gotta fill me on the butthole part.
Well, considering
It's
the fact I
porn.
do porn,
you
usually
do
my
butt-
asshole's in 4K. I don't do anal,
Really?
actually. I'm probably like the only person that doesn't. I'm
See,
stingy.
that's a nice little fun fact to know.
Fun fact.
So
I think
question.
everyone just assumes any porn star is down for anything.
Yeah, yeah. I think the assumption is like if you're in porn. I thought that when I got into the industry is that you had to do everything.
So what don't you do?
I don't do anal. So
That's smart.
I obviously like don't do gangbangs because you would need the butt.
Now, is this a personal choice or is this something Vic was like, we have to have rules, we have to establish
Personal
rules?
choice.
Yeah,
personal choice.
Okay.
Before I even got into the picture.
She wants a booty hole to stay intact.
So you were a
I
porn
just
star
don't
with
like-
standards.
Yeah, I don't like anal, so if I don't like it off camera, I figure I wouldn't like it on camera because on camera is way different.
I have a question about booty holes. So bleaching booty holes, is that a thing?
It
what
is,
that? That's
yeah.
the thing. Why? So when you bleach the booty hole, what does that do? That makes them look better on camera?
It's supposed to. I've never done it. It's supposed to lighten your asshole. I don't know, make it more appealing.
You got friends who've done it.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
is there any
Girls in the
after
industry.
effects of bleaching your booty hole? Like, have they been talking like, girl, I farted and my whole booty hole fell off?
No.
Like, is there something like that?
Not yet.
Okay.
You never know.
Because I wondered, like, how does that make, like, what's the longevity of bleaching your, like,
I don't know,
in bleach?
Ask Michael Jackson, man. He went from black to white. So I mean,
We barely had
Sammy
vitiligo.
Sosa.
Sammy Sosa, yeah. So, but bleaching, it's not like bleach. Like, is it like, it's like
I mean,
skin lightening clean?
I've never done it. I'm assuming they're just slapping some kind of bleaching cream on and
Yeah.
hoping for the best.
I feel like you're going to leave
that's got to feel
very
awesome.
informed with
I feel like I am too.
a lot of stuff today.
Okay.
I've
because-
never looked at my asshole and thought this should be lighter.
But you've looked at your
never
asshole.
So,
You looked at your butthole?
oh, every day.
How you do that?
Bend and spread.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm saying like
Some,
you're
some
mirror?
of these questions. What do you mean? How do you do
You've
that?
never looked at your own asshole?
I haven't.
You need to stop what you're doing and go to the bathroom.
That's why I'm asking. Like,
That's why mirrors were
And to look
invented.
at
You
your
didn't think you
own-
have to look at
Freddie-
yourself.
All right,
you
guys,
seen your butt? You seen your
Everybody's
asshole?
seen that.
Please
You're the
note,
only
we're
person
gonna
around
You
the world.
do
seen
another
Rick?
title. Freddie finds his asshole. That's gonna be another title for this episode.
You've seen your asshole?
I think there's this general curiosity where everyone has at some
So you
point in their
have you
life.
seen it or not?
Yeah.
You seen yours?
of course.
So I'm the only one in here ain't seen that asshole.
You've never seen your. Have you ever seen your ass?
I've seen my
Have
butt.
you ever bent over in front of a mirror?
No.
There was never
Maybe-
any
that's what I'm
point in
saying,
your
I
life
should.
where you're just curious, like, I wonder what
Yeah,
my
I wonder
asshole
what it looks like.
like.
What if it's a mess back there and like you've been living your life not knowing?
Mess.
It probably
I mean,
is. Knowing what we know now, it probably is.
I mean, because I don't think anybody else has seen my asshole, to be honest.
Oh,
Well, this
you're
is
wrong.
your opening.
Well,
Will.
you never had a good
You're
blowjob then. Sorry.
Maybe I haven't. Y'all making me rethink my whole life. Jesus. I'm sitting here like reevaluating my life and my choices and all the girls who ever given me head.
Right after you said that, what I want to do is I want to do the slow zoom into Freddie's face with the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Oh yes.
Oh my
Pretty good.
god.
I could just imagine you tonight, like running a bath, lighting candles, getting the mirror out.
Maybe a little Beethoven, some Mozart. It'd be all good for you.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's great that you guys, obviously, that Vic, you're so
becoming a
understanding
man.
of what Dani does, and I guess
I knew what I got into when I signed up.
Oh,
so.
exactly. Oh, very great point. Now, I know Danny Daniels is a stage name. Do you call her Danny?
Nope.
You call her by her real name.
I hope not.
No, it's
No, that's a legit question. Like, there's some girls who like their partners to call them by their stage name. They see it as like this new person that they become. So they.
It sounds insane.
Yeah.
This is a great segue into Dinner with Danny. So I was watching a portion of your show. Now, for everyone listening, Dinner with Danny is Danny's new show on Amazon.
Yep.
And I recommend it. It's
Also,
It's on Amazon. You have to.
So if you have Prime, you get it, correct?
No, it's not on Prime.
It's not on Prime.
No, I make you pay for it.
Okay, you have to pay for it
'Cause
either
I'm
way.
a dick.
Do you want to? Well, that's how you make money. That's how you make money.
Yeah.
If you say
It's called Amazon Prime Video, but it's not available to Prime people for free.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now,
that
do you
makes
want to? It does. Do you want to just quick give us the rundown of what the show entails?
So, backstory. Vic isn't in the industry, and so when I started bringing my friends around, they'd come into town or whatever, and we'd all have dinner. We would just start talking. So we were at dinner with Katrina, and we're just telling stories. I look at him, and his jaw's on the floor, and the tables around us are all like leaning in, trying to listen. And he's like, "This would be a great TV show." So I get 3 of my porn star friends together with a wild card, like a comedian or a musician or someone that's not in the industry. And we all have dinner and we just tell stories.
And the pilot episode that I watched, maybe it wasn't the pilot, but the episode that I watched was with Jim Norton, Phoenix Marie, Alexis Texas, and Asa Akira, which I don't know if you could have a better cast for the first episode. But to watch Jim Norton's head spin with some of the stories that you guys were talking about, I was blown away. And I think that there's this shock value, like you were just saying, how people were leaning in from other tables. I think that the only difference is that we're watching from home and we're not at the table behind you.
Yeah.
We're just listening in, and there's that shock value.
I wanted to feel like we were just having dinner, because that's what I do with my girlfriends. So I wanted to give that feeling. I didn't want the girls to come on and feel like they were on like a talk show, because I feel the stories don't come out unless there's a little wine and we're all in comfortable space, safe space.
Absolutely.
So I had Jim on because going into it, I was trying to explain this to people and no one understood what I was getting at. And I was like, the only person that could handle this was Jim Norton. Like, he's the only one. Well, and he was great.
I guess that's a great question as of finding the male part.
It's not always male. I had actually a female sex therapist on as well, which is an upcoming episode. But
you also, there was another episode that I noticed.
Yeah, the second one that's up.
Right. And was he a porn star?
He's a comedian also.
He's a comedian as well.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Jeff Leach.
Jeff Leach. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your process of finding the people that are going to be on there?
It depends.
Because I guess you need to make sure that you're getting like Jim's reactions to things that was awesome, and that's what makes you laugh, and that's the greatest part about it. Minus the stories. I feel like
Jim and Jeff both did a good job of being in the moment, and their reactions were genuine, because that's really what they were like. Wait, what? You know, it's a great way, because we could all get lost in a story for someone that doesn't understand to come back and be like, wait, you need to explain what docking is. You know, and so you're like, oh,
wait, time out. Freddie has no idea. I can tell looking at his face, he has no idea what docking is.
I'm fearful of telling
you
what
have to watch
docking
the
is.
show.
So the boat ain't coming in to drop off the fish?
I will tell you this much, that when Phoenix Marie was done telling the docking story, Jim Norton, with the most horrified look I've ever seen on a human's face, went, "That is the most horrible thing I've ever heard. It changed me." Jim Norton said this.
And
Jim Norton is the hardest person on the planet to shock, and he literally...
And we're not going to get into that, because we're going to use that as a teaser.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw it, and I thought it was hilarious, but there is that shock value to it. And watching,
it is definitely a raunchy show.
I feel like if I was on this show, my head probably explode on
but
camera.
You'll learn a lot.
Freddie's gonna learn. He's learned a lot already,
right?
And he hasn't even watched one episode yet. But I feel like he's not only learned a lot, but there's still more to come, because
I'm the innocent one on this show.
You just use the term docking like it's an everyday term.
Right.
I know what it is. And
he has no idea.
I looked at Freddie's face.
He's very concerned.
And he was just sitting there, just staring in the space, like
you talking about when the boat
Like,
comes
we might
into
have
the
been
dock,
speaking
drops
in
the
Russian.
stuff.
Yeah.
When
It's
we were
on
just
for
talking.
sale, right? When we dock the boat, right? You get off the stuff off the boat.
Well,
That's why I wanted to do the
Shocking,
show,
right?
is because conversations like that are so normal to my industry, and I wanted to see that, we're just like anyone else. This is a job. So
Right.
we talk about the end of our day, just like you talk about the end of your day, but ours is way more fun.
I would say so. Yeah, but don't sell yourself short though, because there is a lot of work. I've talked to Asa about this. There is a lot of work that goes into
it's not an easy
these
job.
scenes, and even looking at one of the episodes that Phoenix Marie was talking about, prepping for certain
yeah.
things.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of work days leading up to an actual shoot.
Yeah.
There's work that needs to be done. So don't sell yourself short on that. This is a job that not everyone can do, and that's not just
How
from
do you? What are you talking about? Work that leads up? Can we? I'm lost. I'm still lost.
I mean,
I don't know what's going on.
we can talk a little bit about it, but I don't want to give away any of their content from
when
their.
when somebody loves somebody else very much and they want to fuck them in the ass, you don't want to shit on that person because you love them.
That's true. So this
So
thing
you have to prepare for that.
and you definitely don't want to do it on camera in 4K.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That silence is Freddie. That
See, that's why
silence
you should watch the show.
is that meme of Zach Galifianakis,
I think
like on all the
people-
numbers going through his head on from The Hangover. That's what's happening to Freddie's mind right now.
Freddie,
He
it's
is
not that one.
Freddie, dinner with Danny.
Dinner
That's
with
all I'm telling
Danny.
you.
Just watch it.
It's not the meme is just like what's the dude that smashed watermelons?
Gallagher.
Yeah, it's the meme. Somebody head and then it's like right before then their head explodes. That's what that was. But it's like Gallagher hit me in the head with the.
I'm
with
kind
the
of
mallet.
like afraid for you to watch my show because
Nah, I'm afraid.
it
too.
might change you.
You might become a man.
Or you might need therapy. Take your choice.
I was asking about bleaching booty holes. That was
Yeah,
like
and
extreme
you know
for
what's
me.
funny is that
You're talking about
bleaching assholes is probably like
A 2 out of 10?
that is just like the least. Like that's nothing. And I'm not in porn, and I'm just like, oh,
You aren't,
bleaching
Rick?
asshole.
Because you know everything.
Well,
All the prep
apparently.
that goes into, because when they about to shoot a movie, all this prep that goes into, you got to prep to get your dick sucked 5 times
You
in
really
1 hour.
do. You really
listen,
do.
I spent an
Yeah.
entire day with Asa Akira, who had a bowl of cereal eaten out of her asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that's what she led with when I met her. So we had an entire day to talk about every aspect of the industry.
What kind of cereal was it?
That's your.
Fruit Loops, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, because it depends.
Yeah.
It depends because everybody know Captain Crunch is sharp. Like you able to Captain Crunch cut the top of your mouth. Like imagine eating
And you
that
don't
out of
want
my
like
booty hole.
something chocolatey because that's just a disaster.
Cocoa
Right.
Puffs. Here we come.
Right.
That is
yeah.
horrible.
But,
I was
but
like
my
hungry.
point being, it's this. A lot of this stuff, I don't want to call it common knowledge because it's not. But there's a lot of stuff that's out there that a lot of people know. Like I know docking. I've never done it, and when you find out, you'll understand. But I know what it is. It's like I feel
You
like
do
your
learn a lot.
eyes
Like
are
the
going to be
show-
opened to a lot.
You will learn a lot on the show, definitely.
I just found out about the name of the people who get the guys ready to go into the
Fluffers?
scene. Fluffers. I just found out, and I found out about that being on damn Craigslist. I was like, what is this position? A fluffer? I think I might want to be a fluffer. They get paid a lot of money. I'm going to apply to be a fluffer.
Why do you talk like Mickey Mouse on Craigslist?
I don't know. Because I think that is my naive voice because I did not know what a fluffer was. I was like, they make a lot of money. A fluffer don't sound too bad. I'm going to be a fluffer.
Oh, man.
And I found out what a damn fluffer was. I'm like, I'm about to be jacking off dudes. to go and like,
No,
get the freak out of
you just
here.
got to keep them hard.
I don't want to do that, sir.
Oh.
That's like climbing up on the thing with no harness and washing windows.
I think it's more
Which
like
actually-
licking the pole in the
which-
subway system.
Which would you
Which
rather
would you
do?
rather? You were going exactly where I was going with that. Freddie, you can only do one job. Are you cleaning the windows without a harness, or are you a fluffing?
Without a harness.
Are you fluffing?
Is there really a gray area here? I'm standing on the windowsill, dude. I'm cleaning that window like you wouldn't fucking believe.
See, I'm taking jerk off. I'll jerk anyone off if I don't have to stand on a windowsill.
So, Freddie, we're waiting on you. We need an answer.
I think I'm going to go to the window.
Yeah, that's what I think. From the window to the wall.
Sweat drop down my ball.
All right. Well, I guess here's one of the first questions this is from Pablo. He wants to know what one of the best and worst things of being a porn star is.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm sure you've gotten this many times.
The best thing is being a porn star, and the worst thing is being a porn star. Like, I love doing porn. I think it's amazing, but there's definitely a judgment that comes with it. I think everyone thinks that I'm instantly going to blow them, or I fuck my pizza guy, or like the Uber driver when I don't have cash. You know, it's like they think that that's like my lifestyle because I've done it on, the internet.
So people hear you're a porn star, they automatically think you're a whore.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I might go and my scene today is I fuck my boyfriend's dad, and then people think that I'm really like that. It's like, hide your husband. She's here. She's gonna fuck your,
Well, the interesting part to that is also like, you're I guess it's acting. I mean,
no one thinks George Clooney is a doctor.
Porn stars aren't known for their acting, but it is acting.
But here's the thing I will say, like, I think everybody's jobs do that. Like, if you say you're a stand-up comedian, people are like, oh, they tell me a joke.
Funny.
If you're a doctor, like, oh, look, check this out. I got this bump on my neck. Can you tell me what that is? Like, sir, I'm a pediatrician. Like, no. Like, it's just, people just, whatever job you do, it's just, unfortunately, you have sex. So it's like, oh.
Oh, well, she'll suck my dick.
Right.
Yeah. And my
hey,
friends.
guys, Danny's coming over. Make sure your gun is full.
Yeah, I could see that. But so what would you, all right, so there's obviously the negative aspect of that. And then the best part, what would you say the best part is?
I got to do, like, I always tell my friends this, is we got married. I got to do everything I wanted to do in a safe environment before we got married. I have no desire to cheat or try something. I'm never going to go to my husband and be like, I've always wanted to be fucked by two dudes at the same time on a boat. We should do that. Like, I've done it all. So going into a marriage, I feel like I got an opportunity that a lot of people don't have. I've explored everything. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what pleases me sexually in my personal life. And getting married, it's like, all right, good. Found a guy that does all the things I like. I've done everything. Sold.
I have a question.
Oh, this should be good.
Yes.
So when you, like, all the times you've done porn, have you ever had an orgasm doing porn?
I've never not had an orgasm or faked an orgasm.
Oh, so those are legit.
See how she did that?
Right. She did some Jedi mind tricks. I saw that. I caught it.
These are not the droids you were
No, I
looking
don't.
for.
I never. I'm not a. Some girls fake it. I don't. I don't give my partner the satisfaction. So I'll hump a leg if I need to get off.
There you go.
I'm not gonna. Why would I pat somebody on the back if they can't do it?
Another question.
Okay.
So when the time, like, so I heard.
I feel like this is health class for Freddie. Like, he's learning stuff about the body today. He's
like,
he's
does
learning
this
a
look
lot.
weird to you?
I'm the most inquisitive person in the world. So now this is the first time I've ever met a porn star. So I read this thing, like, when the girls are doing they do the money shot, the cum shot, that it's not really cum. It's like lotion and conditioner.
It's not for the photos. It's fake. But for the video, it's real.
I guess
So
that was a little old
usually-
school, right? Or do they still do photos?
They still do photos.
They do?
For like promo.
It's so
and-
archaic.
Yeah, so usually they'll shoot all the photos. So they'll, like, companies do two things. One, they'll do all the photos and then shoot the scene. Or if they want something more organic, they'll shoot the scene up to the pop shot, which is when the guy comes, usually on a girl's face, and then stop and then do all the photos.
So it's called a pop shot. Y'all call it a pop shot, not a money shot. That's not.
It
That's not the
depends.
term.
Money shot's kind of an older term.
That's back when
but-
Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I know about
So
You don't know fucking shit.
you-
that. Debbie Does Dallas. See, look, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
all right.
You just pulled out.
I don't think so. Not by the questions you're asking. You are not.
No, the funny part I said all that, and Danny looked at me. He's like, "All right."
Yeah. Next
But
question.
To answer your question, usually they will take photos and girls, they'll use Cetaphil. People have mixed powdered sugar and water, pina colada mix, but they'll take a photo and then wipe it off and then do the actual cum shot because usually a guy can't come back to back.
Right. That's
So.
very true. Why do?
But like,
Oh, you know that.
all of the photos
You
you
know
see
that.
on the internet of like a girl like baby birding it with like all this cum all over her face, it's fake. Unless it's a screen grab.
Well, baby birdie. What does that mean?
Use your imagination. What does a baby bird do?
Never seen a baby bird with their mouth open, the worms being dropped.
She's got her mouth open, ready to catch. Oh, okay.
Helping you out here. Helping you out, bro. I'm here for
I
you.
was gonna tell you guys to zoom in on Freddie's face for that one because that was talk about money shots. That was the money shot right there. His face.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm green as a
Next
blade of
time
grass.
you come in a girl's mouth, look down. You're gonna be like, it looks like a baby bird.
But no, I've never. The times I've done it, it's been the boy has been inside. She's still going. She's still sucking. I don't want her to stop.
So
don't
it looks
stop
like
and pull
a
it
baby
out.
bird with a worm in its mouth.
And in his case, it is.
No,
Oh.
no, it's like a baby bird with a kielbasa in her mouth.
Okay.
You know what a kielbasa looks like, right?
Oh
my God.
Spell kielbasa.
This is taking a turn. So this question's from Dom. We kind of know half of the answer to it. He said, have you ever been recognized in the subway or had a creepy encounter with a fan in the subway? We could take it out of the subway. Do you get recognized on the street a lot?
I do.
And have you ever had like a negative, like a creep?
I've
or
had
like
stalkers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, one of the things I like about living in New York is when I first moved here, we went to a restaurant, and I went to the bathroom, and it had like the open kitchen kind of a feel. And I was walking, and the chef's like, "Hi, Dani," and I was like, "Hello." And I thought I knew the person. I like stood there like an idiot for a couple seconds.
I would do that.
Where do I know this person from? And I walked back and I was like, I think I know the chef from somewhere and I can't figure it out. And he's like, no, it's a fan. And I'm like, why did they just say hi? Like, why didn't they come up and ask for a photo or whatever? They're like, they don't do that in New York. Like, New Yorkers are the best.
Yes.
They just say hi and then they just...
I've heard that from so many people through like interviews. Like you have people along the lines of Kevin Bacon, who takes the train. He lives on the Upper West Side. He takes the train all the time. And mind you, he'll wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
But he has no fear of doing that. And they like the fact that they can blend in.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
Bowie
I'll
said
never
that.
care if someone stops
It's
me on the
perfect.
street and asks
Yeah.
for a photo. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. But there is something nice about just being like, hello, hey, what's up? It's like got this friendly, like everyone knows everyone type vibe.
Right.
which
I was
is cool.
Before Bowie passed away, he had said that he lived in the West Village. He would go out, go for coffee. Most New Yorkers would go, "Hey, David, like that last album." Just that'd be the end of it.
Right.
You know.
It would never happen anywhere else.
Right. And I think there's a part of New Yorkers who don't want to be that person because there's that kind of reputation of New Yorkers doing that. But also I think there's a part where you're just not expecting it. Like you're like, wait, was that?
That's true. I
Was
never
that
thought of it like
just
that. It's like a quick
That
city.
doesn't make sense that she would be walking down the street right now. So that probably wasn't her. Which has even happened to me where I've walked past someone and I knew for a fact that it was them, but it didn't. It took probably a block
they're
for my
already
brain
like,
to
yeah.
register. And at that point, I'm like, I'm not turning around running after them. That's
Yeah.
just crazy.
It
but
happened to me with John Stamos.
And
I was in Hell's Kitchen, like right around your crib.
Yeah.
I saw John Stamos. I was walking. I was like, is that John Stamos? I think that might be John Stamos. I don't know, but he was talking kind of fast, and so I would have had to like catch it like a little jog
Right.
to catch up. Like, hey, and then you feel kind of bad, like John Stamos. Like, no, I'm not John Stamos.
Well, yeah. I mean, I lived on the Upper West for a few years, and Matt Dillon lived around the corner, and used to see him at the same coffee shop every day, and used to walk by, and it was just Matt Dillon sitting on.
I feel like I also have an advantage because a lot of people don't want to admit that they know me. Because that
I didn't
instantly
think
means
about
you
that
jerk
part,
off all
too.
the time. If you can recognize me with my clothes on the street in broad daylight in a split second, you fucking jerk off to me every day. And depending on who you're around, I don't think people want to admit that.
That's my favorite look.
I get a lot of looks. My favorite look is the husband look when they're with their family.
Is it a lot of like side eye? Like,
Oh yeah, like
it's stress.
like I can't say anything,
angst.
and they
Just
start like shaking.
It's like
But-
pure angst of
It's
I
like
want
he
to,
sees
but
a
I
mistress
can't.
or something?
Oh no, it's kind of
Like
like,
a mistress
I
look.
so desperately want to run up and ask for a photo, but if I do, I'm gonna blow up my spot. My wife's gonna find my secret stash of porn.
Yeah.
It's hysterical. You can see it. You literally see that whole thing on their face,
Which kind of works to my advantage.
and I usually chuckle, because I'm usually.
yeah. I mean,
Gotcha.
that is pretty funny. I would die laughing.
However,
at that.
I will tell you this: New York's the only place that we don't get stopped. We get stopped everywhere else on the planet, at the Vatican on our honeymoon.
No.
At the frickin' Vatican. St. Peter's Square behind us, a guy runs up and wants a photo.
Porn knows no bounds.
Yeah, no fucks given.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is awesome.
That is a great story.
That is wild.
That, you know, as brief as it is, just to tell, like just to say we were at the Vatican on our honeymoon. And then on top of that, what, you know, you're standing right there and they're kind of like,
Oh, it gets better. The guy wanted me in the photo and then whipped out a mask of King Tut.
Yeah.
How did you leave that part out?
I was waiting for the setup. I figured you were going to fill in here, help me out. But yeah.
Everyone knows he's my husband.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
it's
not,
very.
yeah.
I make it very open on social media. I don't try to hide it. So
Right.
he's actually my giveaway, and
Yeah.
it's really annoying because he's got like the bald head goatee.
Yeah, I
So
look
they
like
look at
evil
me,
Mr.
and then they
Clean.
look at
Looks like
him.
Dave Ramsey.
Well, more like evil Mr. Clean.
Can we actually pull up the picture of Dave Ramsey? We promised to do this earlier in the show. I want to pull up the picture of Dave Ramsey. I believe is it Dave? Am I saying the name right? Dave Ramsey. Can we pull the picture up and somehow try to do a picture-in-picture? If we could blow that picture up just a little bit,
I love it.
and if we can get maybe Vic in one of the shots on an ISO. And I would love to put them side by side if we can do that. If not,
Yeah, if you like dyed your goatee gray and wore like those
Vic.
awful dad glasses.
I can get the wire glasses. I can do that.
Here comes the Zoom, Vic.
Oh, I'm in here.
Oh.
I'm good.
There you go. There you have it. For those of you listening, we've got the picture of Dave Ramsey side by side.
You could be like the Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's.
There you
Well,
go.
he's kinda more like
so,
Clark Kent.
has anyone ever come to you for financial advice?
No.
Okay. So maybe it's just us.
I have a question.
Okay.
Your name Danny Daniels. You said it's not your name. How'd you come up with that name? Because like I've seen something where like they say you can create your own porn name.
You
It's
do
like,
create
it's
your
like
own
the
porn
name
name.
of your first pet and the name of the street you grew up
Yeah,
on.
that's not. I didn't do that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Long story short, because it's a long story, my ex, who I was with before I got into the business, who I consulted, because I got in the business, I just banged girls for a few years. I was like, I just want to explore my bisexual side and fuck some girls. Are you okay with that? And he was like, absolutely not. So I broke up with him and started shooting porn.
Oh wow.
And
He didn't have the elegante.
And when I got to set the first day, they're like, you know, I didn't watch porn before. I didn't know about stage names or any of that stuff. They're like, what name do you want to use? I'm like, you don't use your legal name? They're like, no, you come up with a stage name. It's for safety reasons, whatever. So I was like, okay. So my ex's name was Daniel. So I went by Dani.
To this day, do you think he knows that?
Oh, I'm sure wherever he is real pissed. And then they're like, well, what do you want for your last name? I'm like, Daniel.
See,
So,
I don't know if I'd be
Danny
pissed
Daniels.
or if I would be like flattered.
It was
Like, I don't-
definitely a revengeful asshole young move of me, but yeah.
I like that
And-
because
and-
I think a lot of, and I'm just speculating here, but I feel like a lot of porn names do kind of derive from what you said, like the street name with the pet name, and the fact that you have a story for that. And we won't dive into it, but that story sounds like it goes a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Is amazing because there's something behind it.
Yeah. It made for a good story. In the moment, I was just like, I don't care. I just want to fuck girls. What do I need to say to fuck girls? Like,
I mean, like, because going by, like, use your first pet's name and your street you grew up on, my porn name would be Schwarzenegger Forsyth.
he has the best one.
I grew up on Hyman Avenue.
Stop.
My first
You know
pet,
what?
My first pet's name was Buster.
I knew you were going to say Buster. I knew it. I was about to say it. I knew he was going to say that.
That's when we
you're
got
not
together.
making that up.
No, when we got together,
No,
she didn't
I
believe me. I
verified
actually
it.
had to show her the street and the house that I grew up on.
I was like, no, that's you're full of shit.
For a
Buster
second,
Hyman.
For a second,
Buster
I thought we
Hyman.
were gonna have to explain to Freddie what a hymen was. But
well, it's with the man in the boat. from
that
the
saves
last-
that
from
saves
the last
us
segment.
exactly. That saves
Now,
us
I
a
know
little
that,
bit of
'cause
time.
that's a technical biological term. I know that. But docking, that ain't no technical.
Oh, that's got
Well,
all kinds of terms.
technically.
Right. That sounds like a whole
I
situation.
can't. Yeah, I can't wait till the camera is off and we can fill you in on.
Show you the clip.
Wow, we're gonna fall just short of that.
It's
I don't
rare.
want to traumatize
it's rare.
the
I'm
guy.
scared. It's rare. I'm nervous and apprehensive about doing something, but I'm a little nervous.
Well, I'm gonna let Danny do that because
This is
I don't
amazing.
even know where to start. I just know what it is, but I feel like it'll be funnier with her telling you. So we'll let her. We'll leave that up to her. But
What will be your porn name?
Rocky Emerson. That's not bad.
Wow.
There you
That's not
go.
bad.
That's a good
That's
one.
dope.
That's
Your
a good
porn
one.
name is dope.
That's not
Rocky
bad.
Emerson?
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's kinda cool.
Schwarzenegger Forsyth? I don't know about that one. That's
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, mouthful. No pun.
Yeah. I'm not going down that road. All right. Well, honestly, that's the time that we have. Danny, thank you so much for coming by. I can't wait to do this Dan Perino thing.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
so
that
excited.
man.
This is hopefully he doesn't bail, but This is going to be so much fun, especially once we get his interview out there. Now we've talked to you, so we've gotten both parties out of the way with their whole backstories and everything.
I cannot wait to watch next week because I can't be here because I guess we're out of town.
Oh, we'll make sure to get you
totally
that
gonna watch
episode because it's one of those things that I don't think any of us are going to forget. Like this interview is going to be great, just as this one was. This was awesome. So if you're down for it, we would love to have you on future shows as well.
I'll come on anytime.
It sounds like just like our friend James, who was sitting over here before. You're going to have stories to bring with you in the future as well. Vic, obviously you're invited
still
as
doing
well.
porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Only for myself, though.
Only for you.
Only I have DannyDaniels.com. I have DailyBush.com. Only myself.
Well,
I don't
you
do
know
for other
what?
companies.
That's a great, because we do shameless plugging at the end of the show.
Did you see that?
Great segue.
I want you to plug whatever the hell you want. We've talked a lot about Dinner with Danny. Tell us where we can find it. Plug whatever you'd like.
Dinner with Danny you can find on Amazon, but if you're too lazy to search, you can just go to dinnerwithdanny.com. DannyDaniels.com, DailyBush.com for my premium Snapchat. You can follow me on Snapchat at SuckingAllTheD. You can follow me on Instagram at AKA Danny Daniels. My clothing line, removetofuck.com. Am I missing anything?
I think we got it all.
Yeah. I stay busy.
What you got going, Vic? I know you said you got some other stuff separately.
I'm actually a publicist. I do PR for a living.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and not porn publicity. Bizarre as that may sound.
So who are some of your clients?
I do a lot.
He doesn't have to reveal that.
I do a lot of fashion. That's actually where most of my work is. So.
From New York fashion.
Freddie, what do you got coming up?
Man, hey guys, Freddie B TV. Follow me everywhere. Guys, make sure you subscribe and rate to this and tell 3 people you hate to this.
Great.
Oh.
As always. Guys, my personal account, RMcGuire13. Let's make sure to keep following What is New York. Please, Kim's usually here to say it, so I'll say it this week. Yeah. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere you find your podcasts. If you'd like, you can do a 14-day free trial with a promo code Subway for gasdigitalnetwork.com. The advantages to doing that are pretty huge. You get any show on the network. Yeah. You can watch the show immediately after the episode the next day, and you get to watch it ad-free in HD.
That's cool.
Whereas when it comes out to the public on Sunday night, it's going to be an SD. If we have some ads, they're going to be thrown on there, but there are advantages to being on the Gas Digital Network. We've said it before. So many shows on that network that you get in addition.
Godfrey show. He's a comedian.
Right.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Also, waiting
Godfrey?
sucks.
I used to rep Godfrey.
Yes.
Godfrey D.
We all like to binge watch.
Yeah.
We're a binge watch era. So, it's...
I've been binge watching Shark Tank.
We don't want to wait. We don't like to wait. So, one other thing I wanted to add in here.
Oh, yeah, my present.
Danny was very nice enough to bring her barbecue sauce, which I'm going to put this shit on everything. I'm using that from Frank's, but I'm putting this on everything. It's called Wet and Sloppy. And let me get this. This is amazing. I'm bringing it right home.
It's
hey, babe,
fucking delicious.
Look at this barbecue sauce I got.
I can't wait to open this. And she was so smart to bring and give it to me because now I'm plugging the shit out of it. And on top of that, she brought
of the proceeds builds homes for vets.
Well, I didn't buy it, but maybe I'll have to, you might get me hooked on this.
Go to removetofuck.com and buy some and do some charity
There's
work.
probably, if you're smart, you put crack in here because it's going to keep me coming back. But you also gave me the Cajun spice called Rub and Tug, and we're going to plug that for you as well.
I have a Dirty Minds. I like.
Yeah, but the names are very fitting. So it's all relevant. So thank you for those. And we're going to send you guys out with a girl I met last week who's an amazing singer. Her name's Marley Sings. That is also the name of her Instagram account. I recommend checking her out. She did a Chris Isaak cover of Wicked Games. So that'll be taking us out. Until next week, thank you so much for tuning in. Danny, thank you again for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And we will see you guys next week.
you, with you, with you, with you. Oh. Thank you.